You're this perp back with another video, and I just got done checking out the brand new Mortal Kombat's Legend movie titled Snowblind. This is a story focused on Kenshi. He's the blind swordsman, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite characters to kind of honestly play with when it comes to Mortal Kombat games. But this was a very interesting watch. I will not be talking about any spoilers. I just have to kind of give you the gist of what this story is about and just my overall thoughts on it. You know what I'm saying? I think this comes out sometime next month or whatnot. So I would definitely go check this out as soon as you can at any point. No rush, obviously. If you like the last two Mortal Kombat Legends movies, I think you will definitely enjoy this one. It's very filled with blood and gore and over the top just action. The animation is slightly different, I think, from previous movies. I would say it kind of works in some ways, and sometimes it doesn't look really good. Like, they have some 3D animations that are kind of just really trash. So let me just kind of talk about this story and just how we get introduced to Kenshi in this movie. So it sets up, it's so weird. The tone of this movie is so weird to me. The setting is kind of in this Mad Max type of world. It's just a complete wasteland. I have no idea if this takes place right after the Battle of the Realms. I'm a little confused with that. I would probably have to go back and rewatch the previous two movies once again, because it's been so long. I feel that movie just came out last year. I feel like it's been forever ago, and I completely forget about that movie. But that aside, I still had things that I enjoyed about this. So we get introduced to Kenshi. Well, first, we get introduced to King Kano, which he is pretty much the big bad of this whole entire film, which is kind of odd, you know what I'm saying? He is definitely an effective villain. I'm not going to take that away from him, but I just feel like they made him way too OP. Shang Tsung is also in this, and he has an interesting role to play in all of this, and especially to play into how Kenshi loses his eyesight. We'll get into that as well, but I think a lot of people are going to be kind of pissed or upset with certain ways that they handle certain characters that are possibly, most likely fan favorites. And we get introduced to Kenshi's character because right now we live in a world where Kano is just running amok. He's pretty much conquering all over around different places, and you know what I'm saying, you have also Cabal in this, and he has his own crew and he has his own motives. And this is where Kenshin kind of pretty much comes into play, where he comes off very cocky, he's just looking for a fight. He almost feels like Goku in a sense, where Goku, he's just really arrogant and cocky. Feels like he could just beat whoever, just, you know what I'm saying? And he really embarrasses Cabal in front of everybody, in front of the different village people and stuff like that. So they was all right, we're gonna come back. They come back, they bring back Tremor, which I feel like that's a newer Mortal Kombat character I'm not too familiar with, but he pretty much beats his ass to pretty much where Kenshi doesn't really want to fight no more. And also in this movie we have an old man Sub-Zero, which he kind of ends up taking Kenshi under his wing and trying to kind of get him on the right path. And where all that kind of leads is, it almost kind of, this whole movie to me tonally feels like if you were to take Star Wars, a little bit of Star Wars as far as the Jedi goes, because that's how I kind of look at Kenshi. Definitely looks like they almost do some Star Wars shit in here, mixed with a little bit of Mad Max as far as the setting. And then you got a little bit of Karate Kid as far as training montages and stuff like that. I know it's really odd, but when you watch it, you'll see what I'm talking about. But there are some really badass moments in here that are just going to be wow, that was really cool. Very violent, very Mortal Kombat-esque. And I think people are going to have fun with it regardless. Some things kind of rub me the wrong way. I'm just saying, as far as how they portray certain characters and how they treat certain characters, it's like, okay, I understand this is Mortal Kombat, but it's just like, all right, what is the timeline here? Are we following a whole like timeline? Has it kind of reset? Is now we're going to follow these movies with this character? It's very kind of confusing when you're watching it a little bit, but you kind of get distracted by all the bloody, gory, and just epicness of a lot of the fights. Like I said, some of the animation in the fights look good. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's going on. I think they could have polished this movie up a little bit to kind of just have some of those animations feel more fluid, because you definitely kind of see where it kind of looks janky at sometimes. But I understand what they were going for. They wanted to go more in that kind of where DC is going with their animation movies. They kind of are mimicking that with this in a way. That's just my opinion. I think, like I said, there's a lot of fan service in this movie. The story is okay. I like Kenshi and just how that all comes about. I like how they handle Sub-Zero's character, how he's kind of like, you know, I don't want to fight no more. He almost is like a pacifist at this point. That's another thing that I don't know if that's going to rub people the wrong way, but you know what I'm saying, I think it worked out at the end. I feel like the ending is satisfying enough to kind of ignore some of the flaws, even though the flaws are clearly there in this movie. But I still think you can enjoy it nonetheless. So, with that being said, I just wanted to kind of give you my first impressions on this movie without diving into spoilers, what characters die and stuff, because I think that's really what's going to be interesting about an interesting discussion to have about this movie, and just how people are going to react to certain characters being killed off and whatnot. So let me know how y'all feel about this movie. If you get around to watching it, definitely come back to this review and give me your thoughts. But until next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.